to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined this morning? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Nala.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for joining this morning, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Varshavanavi Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Varshavanavi Devi. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you for joining this morning, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you for joining this morning, Mataji, and thank you for all your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yeshumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you for joining this morning, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead and unmute yourself. I don't see His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu has joined. He has not joined yet. Maybe we can continue a chanting. Mataji, is there any introduction today for Radhika Vallabha Prabhuji? I don't see.
No, Mataji.
No introduction, right? Okay, thank you. So let us continue our chanting then, if there is nobody to introduce themselves. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Rama 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 Hare Krishna. Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think Prabhuji has rejoined.
I don't see Prabhuji Mataji.
No.
Yes, see Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama.
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare Ram. Yeah, I think Prabhuji has joined.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. He's Radhika Vallabha Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, canto 6, chapter 8 and verses 18. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisance. We are very fortunate to have you today and we appreciate your valuable time. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Radhika Vallabha Prabhuji, please unmute yourself. Prabhuji, you have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Can you
Hare.
hear?
Yes, Prabhuji,
Okay.
we can. Dandavat Pranam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshvabhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Kristiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Kumaraya Vindaya Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjalishlakaya Chaksaroonmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanam Shri Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurami Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pracharine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadam Srivasadi Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we'll read from 6th canto, chapter 8, the Narayana Kavacha mantra, text number 13. Jaleshu mam rakshatu matsya murtir yado ganebhyo varunasya pashat sthaleshu maya vatuvamano vyat trivikramakhe vatu vishvarupaha. Word to word translation: Jaleshu, in the water, Mam, me, Rakshatu, protect, Matsya Murtihi, the Supreme Lord, in the form of a great fish, Yada Ganebhyaha, from fierce aquatic animals, Varunasya, of the demigod known as Varuna, Pashat, from the arresting rope, Staleshu, on the land, Maya Vatu, the merciful form of the Lord as a dwarf, Vamanaha, named Vamanadev, Avyat, may he protect. Trivikrama, whose 3 gigantic steps took the 3 worlds from Bali. K, in the sky. Avatu, may the Lord protect. Vishwarupaha, the gigantic universal. Translation in purport by His Divine Grace, C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhu. May the Lord, who assumes the body of a great fish, protect me in the water from the fierce animals that are associates of the demigod Varuna. By expanding his illusory energy, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Vamana. May Vamana protect me on the land. Since the gigantic form of the Lord, Vishwarupa, conquers the 3 worlds, may he protect me in the sky. Purport. This mantra seeks the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the water, land, and the sky, in his incarnations as the fish, Vamana Deva, and the Vishwarupa. Secondly, Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the Narayana Kavacha mantra. So Vishwarupa is actually giving instructions to Indra, this Narayana Kavacha mantra, for the protection of the Devatas from the Asuras. So this Narayana Kavacha mantra is nothing but the holy names of Krishna. And we will see in this Narayana Kavacha mantra, by chanting the different holy names of the Lord, one is protected from different situations. In this particular verse, one is praying to Lord Matsya, Vamanadev and Vishwarupa for protection in the earth, water and sky. And there are other mantras in which a person chants the holy name for seeking protection in different places. Within the house, outside the house, and protection from different weapons, protection from different other disturbances. So for all those problems, one is actually chanting the different holy names of Krishna. So this chapter actually talks about, we can say, the power of the holy names. Yeah, the topmost benefit of the chanting of the holy names is actually love for Krishna. But here, the holy name actually acts right from the Annamaya to the Anandamaya portion. Right from Annamaya, that means the physical protection, to the Anandamaya, that is, it bestows love for Krishna. So in this particular Narayana Kavacha mantra, the demigods are seeking physical protection so that they can conquer over the demons. Just like the demigods were told to first put this armor made of Narayana Kavacha mantra before going to fight with the Asuras. All of us devotees, practicing devotees, everyone should chant the holy names of Krishna before facing the material energy, the illusory energy. The holy names of Krishna acts like an armor, kavacha, for withstanding the attacks of the illusory potency of Krishna. Prabhupada says in one purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita that out of all the instructions of the spiritual master, the instruction to chant the 16 rounds are the most important instructions of the spiritual master. So Prabhupada says in that purport that if a person is not chanting his 16 rounds properly, then he can very easily fall victim to Maya. So Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartavyona Jatuchit Sarva Vidhi Nishedosyu Yetayoreva Kinkaraha. The purpose of all the rules and regulations is to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So one may have other duties to perform, either our varnashram duties, or we may have other services given by the spiritual master. But especially one Prabhupada says that one must abide by the spiritual master's order to chant a certain number of rounds. And especially in ISKCON, Prabhupada has recommended 16 rounds. And this chanting of 16 rounds is absolutely necessary if one wants to remember Krishna and not forget him. So therefore, out of all the regulatory principles, the Guru's order to chant 16 rounds is the most essential. So in that way, we can see that every person, every devotee, we are also actually facing the illusory energy, Maya potency. So in order to face the illusory potency, we have to wear an armor, and that armor is nothing but very diligently doing our sadhana of chanting 16 rounds. So I'll not speak. So the present verse particularly, our one is praying to the three incarnations of the Lord, Matsya Avatar, Vaman Avatar, and Vishwarupa. Or Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Trivikrama. May Matsya protect in the water, may Vamana protect me on the land, may Trivikrama, the universal form, protect me in the sky. So in the previous verse, one prayed for a general protection by uttering different mantras. But now, in this particular verse, one is taking specific protection from the Lord, specific protection within the water from the aquatics, and specific protection on the land and in the sky. So today is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. So we will speak briefly about Advaita Acharya. It's very good to remember Advaita Acharya's appearance day. The Acharyas are very merciful on their appearance days. Maybe just a few pastimes I'll speak. You see, Advaita Acharya's appearance day is very special. He's one of the members of the Panchatattva. The speciality of Advaita Acharya is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world because of the call of Advaita Acharya. So before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he set the stage for his pastimes by sending many of his eternal associates and his own expansions. Mahaprabhu sent Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and they appeared as Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. He sent Vrishabhanu Maharaj, who appeared as Pundarika Vidyanidhi. He sent Brahma in the form of Haridas Thakur. He sent Narada Muni and Parvata Muni, who appeared as Srivas Pandit and Ramai Pandit. Before that, he sent the most divine Kalpavriksha tree from Goloka Vrindavan in the form of Madhavendra Puri. And then Mahaprabhu sent Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is simultaneously an incarnation of Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. So Advaita Acharya appeared in Navagram near Srihatta in Bengal as the son of Kuvera Pandit and Navadevi. And when he was very young, his parents shifted to Shantipur, and he was only a teenager when both of his parents departed from this world. And Advaita Acharya was very beautiful in his appearance also, deeply learned in the Shastra, and he had immense devotion to Krishna. But out of all the qualities, the most important quality of Advaita Acharya is compassion for living entities. And even amongst the Brahmanas, he was considered to be the leader of all the Brahmanas, and he was considered to be the leader of all the Vaishnavas at that time. Okay. So when Advaita Acharya was living in Shantipur, Haridas Thakur came from Benapol. Haridas Thakur was born near Benapol, and then he was there in Benapol for some time, and then he went to Chandagram, and then he went to Adi Saptagram, and then Haridas Thakur came to Shantipur. So wherever Haridas Thakur was there, he was persecuted by everybody. In Benapol, Ramachandra Khan was a powerful Hindu, tried to destroy Haridas Thakur. Then after delivering the prostitute, Haridas Thakur left that place and he went to Chandpur. And there Haridas Thakur was asked to give a lecture by Balaram Acharya, Yadunandan Acharya, to Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath actually. And in that place, Haridas Thakur was blasphemed by a very qualified Brahmana. I think Gopal Chakravarti. So when Haridas Thakur was explaining the glories of the holy name, Haridas Thakur said that liberation is simply an insignificant byproduct of the chanting of the holy name. The real purpose of the holy name is to get love for Krishna. But this Brahmana, Gopal Chakravarti, was an impersonalist. He could not tolerate this glorification of the holy name. And he said that, who is this Malecha? He is telling about what is in the scriptures, what qualification he has. Saying like that, he cursed Haridas. If what you are saying is not true, then let your nose and fingers fall off. And anyway, his nose and fingers, he pronounced like that, but actually, Gopal Chakravarti's nose and fingers fell off. So everybody around was trying to shut up this man, but Haridas Thakur said that, no, let him be. So they were all utterly humiliated. So in this way, Haridas Thakur was there in that particular place, and Haridas Thakur came from that place to Shantipur. In Shantipur, he met Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya was so happy to meet such a pure Vaishnava. He embraced Haridas Thakur as a dearmost friend. So even though the other Brahmanas in Shantipur, they saw Haridas Thakur as a low-class, untouchable person, but Advaita Acharya fed him wonderful prasad. He arranged a residence for Haridas Thakur in a cave, just suitable for his bhajan, near the banks of the Ganges in Fuliagram. And Haridas Thakur would spend most of his days just hearing. Advaita Acharya would spend most of his time doing hearing and chanting along with Haridas Thakur. So then the yearly day came for performing the Shraddha Patra, performing the Shraddha of the forefathers. So Advaita Acharya, he was the most learned and the most prestigious Brahmana in the whole area. So in the for his Shraddha, many great Brahmanas from that area came, because many great Brahmanas came to take prasadam the Advaita Acharya's house, Shraddha Patra. But in front of everyone, publicly, Advaita Acharya offered the first Shraddha Patra. He gave the first honor to Haridas Thakur. So actually, it may appear that what is so great in it, what is the problem with it? But actually, when one has to see from the culture present 500 years back. So at that time, Shraddha was a very important function in a house, and it would be performed very meticulously. And who is offered the Shraddha Patra, all these things becomes very important. But Advaita Acharya gave the Shraddha Patra to Haridas Thakur, who was externally born in a Malaysia, a Muslim family. So in that way, Advaita Acharya declared that a Vaishnava like Haridas Thakur is much, much greater than the Brahmanas. Brahmananam Sahasrebhyo. That's the verse which comes. A Vaishnava is superior to by serving one Vaishnava, gets the benefit of serving thousands of Brahmanas. So we can see Advaita Acharya's conviction in pure devotional service and his respect to Haridas Thakur. So Advaita Acharya, when he was young, he traveled and toured somewhere around Udupi. And there he first met Madhavendra Puri, and they became very intimate associates. Then Advaita Acharya came to Vrindavan, and he was living near Dwadasha Aditya Til, where Krishna stood after liberating Kaliya. So there he was staying under a banyan tree, and Krishna appeared to Advaita Acharya in a dream and told him that I am actually residing under the Yamuna in the form of the Madan Mohan deity. Please excavate me and worship me. So Advaita Acharya dug and found that Madan Mohan deity, and then he started worshipping that Madan Mohan deity. Then Madhavendra Puri again came to Vrindavan. Again, Advaita Acharya had satsang with Madhavendra Puri. But Madhavendra Puri told Advaita Acharya to return to Shantipur because he knew that there is a mission is going to unfold. So Advaita Acharya, before leaving Vrindavan, he entrusted that Madan Gopal deity with a Brahman in Mathura. And then that Brahman in Mathura would later present the deity to Sanatan Goswami. So Madhavendra Puri gave formal initiation to Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. So Advaita Acharya, when Haridas Thakur was there in Shantipur, Advaita Acharya made very intimate friendship with Haridas Thakur. So just by that, Advaita Acharya is showing that one should not judge a Vaishnava by one's external position. We judge a person by one's devotion to God. So this is a profound lesson we can learn from Haridas Thakur, the Advaita Acharya, how he gave respect to Haridas Thakur. Second. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so Advaita Acharya, he had actually, he had everything. He had a wonderful wife, Sita Thakurani. Sita Thakurani is an expansion of Yoga Maya. And but although he had all the opulences, but Advaita Acharya, he was suffering because he could not see the common people without Krishna. So at that time in Navadvip, the common people of Navadvip, they were not living in poverty. They were having a nice position. They were highly learned also. They were wealthy. They were also healthy. All these are considered great blessings. But for a saintly person, for a pure devotee like Advaita Acharya, the only thing that is worth in life is love for Krishna. And so Advaita Acharya, when he saw people living without any interest in pure devotional service, he was like, he was pained to see that condition. So therefore, Advaita Acharya, he felt that I am unable to, on my own, I am actually unable to deliver these people. Just 1 minute. So Advaita Acharya, he was very pained to see the people in Navadvip without love for Krishna. So at that time, Advaita Acharya started worshipping the Shaligram Shila. and he started loudly chanting the holy names of Krishna. In fact, he found a verse from the Gautamiya Tantra, Tulasi Dala Matrena Bhaktebhyo Bhaktavatsalaha. If a person worships Krishna with love, with some tulasi leaves and some Ganges water, and the Krishna becomes so pleased with that person that he sells himself to that devotee. When Advaita Acharya saw that verse, then he started worshipping the Shaligram Shila with the tulasi leaves and the Ganges water, and he started loudly chanting the holy names and praying for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so we can see, therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says that there are three external reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world. One of the reasons is Advaita Acharya's call. The first external reason is Advaita Acharya's call. And second is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to establish the Yuga Dharma. And the third external reason is that Krishna had made a promise in the Bhagavad Gita that whenever there is a decline in Dharma, I will appear to establish Dharma. So we can see the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to respond to the call of Advaita Acharya. That is one of the external reasons. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Haridas Thakur and Advaita Acharya, they felt ecstasy in their hearts. Even though they were in Shantipur, but Mahaprabhu was born in actually Mayapur Yogapit. Even though they were miles away, but they felt great ecstasy. So they could tell that the Lord had appeared, and they could feel that somewhere the Lord had appeared. So nobody could understand like why they are feeling that such great ecstasy at that time. So then later Advaita Acharya came to know that Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, they have given birth to a son. So Advaita Acharya sent Sita Thakurani with some gifts for the newborn child of Sachidevi. So we know Nimai Pandit in his earlier pastimes, in his early part of his life, he was playing the role of a scholar. He was only interested in grammar and nyaya. He would be arguing with the different devotees. But when Nimai Pandit returned from Gaya after receiving initiation from Ishwar Puri, then he revealed his devotional pastimes. So one day Gadadhar Pandit and Nimai, they went to Advaita Acharya's house. And Advaita Acharya was worshipping the Lord with the Ganges water and tulasi leaves by raising his arms. And Nimai Pandit saw Advaita Acharya. So at this point, Nimai Pandit, after returning from Gaya, he is actually started revealing. He became a devotee, or displayed his role as a devotee. So at this time, when Nimai Pandit saw Advaita Acharya worshipping the Shaligram Shila, Nimai Pandit was so moved that he fell unconscious. And when he was laying unconscious, Advaita Acharya looked at Nimai. So at that time, Nimai was about 18. Advaita Acharya was about 70 years. That means he was 52 years older than Nimai. And Advaita Acharya brought all the paraphernalia of worship and began to offer it to Nimai, who was laying unconscious. Advaita Acharya started putting sandalwood and tulasi on his lotus feet, and he started chanting the prayers. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So he said that at that time, when Advaita Acharya started worshipping Nimai in this manner, Gadadhar Pandit, he did not know what was happening. So Gadadhar Pandit said that, oh Advaita, oh this Nimai is such a young child, he is just a teenager. Why are you worshipping him? Advaita Acharya said that, when will you give up the misconception that he is only a child? So at that moment, Gadadhar Pandit understood that Nimai Pandit is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that was the power of Advaita Acharya's conviction. So, but after that, Advaita Acharya decided, so I want to test my Lord. So Advaita Acharya left Navadvip and he came to his house in Shantipur. And so Advaita Acharya had a house in Navadvip also, and he had a house in Shantipur also. He left Navadvip and came to Shantipur. So, so then Nimai Pandit, he was having Kirtan whole day along with the Vaishnavas, whole day and night with the Vaishnavas. And so one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Ramai Pandit, go to Shantipur to the house of Advaita and give him this message. Tell him that the person whom he prayed for, fasted for, and endured great sacrifices, that person has come to deliver the fallen souls of this age through promoting the congregational chanting of the holy names. So Ramai Pandit asked, how will I know where the house of Advaita Acharya is? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you just go, you will find it. Then Ramai Pandit walked from Navadvip to Shantipur, and by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Ramai Pandit went directly to Advaita Acharya's home. So Advaita Acharya was immersed in worshipping the Lord when he saw Ramai Pandit. And then at that time he said that Advaita Acharya asked Ramai Pandit, do you have a message for me? Can you please tell me what is your message? Ramai Pandit said that, oh, I think you already know my message. And then he said, oh, you have come to take me to meet that person in Navadvip? Advaita Acharya asked. Ramai Pandit said, oh yes, yes, let us go. You come with me, along with me to Navadvip. So Advaita Acharya, he could understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had only sent Ramai Pandit to come to his house and then take him to Navadvip. Advaita Acharya could guess that, and he actually told Ramai Pandit. So then Advaita Acharya asked, he was speaking to Ramai Pandit, where in the scriptures does it say that the Supreme Personality of Godhead will take birth in Navadvip to deliver all the fallen souls through the congregational chanting of the holy names? So he asked Ramai Pandit, you are the brother of Srivas Thakur, and you should know. And you should know this information about where it is mentioned in the Shastra, the Lord will appear in Navadvip and propagate Harinam Sankirtan. And you know, I only accept the statements of the Shastra. So please tell me, where does it say? So Ramai Pandit remained silent. And then he said to Advaita Acharya, you already know. Advaita Acharya asked, what is the message he has given me? So Ramai Pandit said, oh, he has given you this message. That person that you prayed for, you took vows and you performed austerities for and fasted for so many years, that person has descended. And he is here and he is waiting for you. And he wants you and your whole family to bring all the paraphernalia of worship so that you can show your love for him. So when Advaita Acharya heard that, he started dancing in ecstasy. And Sita Thakurani and Achyutananda, who was just a small boy, they wept in ecstasy. So immediately the whole family began, they brought all the paraphernalia to worship the Lord and brought it to Navadvip. So when they arrived, Advaita Acharya said that I must first test the Lord to see if my Lord really understands my love for him. Then Advaita Acharya said, I am going to hide in the house of Nandana Acharya. Do not tell where I am. I will only come before the Lord if the Lord calls for me. So then he went to Nandanacharya's house with his family. And Ramai Pandit came to Srivas Angan, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting with his devotees. So as soon as Ramai Pandit came, Mahaprabhu said to Ramai Pandit, I know that Advaita Prabhu, that person who called for me and woke me up when I was sleeping in the ocean of milk and brought me to this world, he is now hiding in the house of Nandanacharya. Tell him that I am waiting for him. So when Advaita Acharya got this message, he came there and he offered prostrated obeisances to the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and from that day, all the Panchatattvas became together. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Advaita Acharya was the person who brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this world. And he was the last person to actually join the Panchatattva in Harinam Sankirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he would perform Sankirtan all day and long in the Srivasangan, 24 hours a day. So Mahaprabhu would be criticized by the many people. So there were many people, the local Brahmana, they were spreading propaganda that in the house of Srivas Thakur, they are having illicit, many illicit activities are going on. They are taking drugs, they are drinking wine. Like that, many Brahmanas were actually spreading this message around. So when Advaita Acharya was asked for a blessing by Lord Chaitanya, Advaita Acharya said that, let the Chandalas, the common women, the common simple people, and even the ignorant, please give all these people Krishna Prema, but those proud people who are attached to their high education, who are attached to wealth and prestige, who blaspheme your devotees due to envy, let them go to hell. That was the benediction Advaita Acharya asked for. Because even that benediction is also the mercy of Advaita Acharya. That's also the mercy of Advaita Acharya. So, one day, Nimai Pandit, many Brahmanas approached Srivas Thakur, and then they told that they approached Nimai Pandit and said that, do you know that many people are envious of you? So many people hate you because of your loud chanting. You are creating so much of disturbance. And in fact, many people have gone to the king to complain against you. So Nimai Pandit said that, oh, that is very good. Because I have been studying so many scriptures for so many years and nobody wants to talk to me. Now the king wants to talk to me. I will take this opportunity to talk to the king based on the scriptures. Then those people said, Nimai Pandit, but he's a Muslim king. He hates you. He is coming to hear you chant the holy names, and that is what he is coming for. And he will not have a dialogue with you. So then at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Srivas Thakur's house, and then he told the devotees, I have been simply associating with the materialistic, envious atheists. So let us have Kirtan. I need to be purified. So then they started having Kirtan, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started dancing. Then after some time, he stopped the Kirtan and he said that, due to my association with this materialistic people, I am not feeling the ecstasy of love for Krishna in the Kirtan today. So you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us that performing Kirtan is not a ritualistic activity. It is not something we show off ourselves to others. It is not something we do simply because we are supposed to do. It is the feeling, the experience of total absorption that really makes the Kirtan great. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt depressed because he was not absorbed in ecstatic love while chanting the holy names. So Mahaprabhu said that I don't feel anything. Advaita Acharya took advantage of the situation. Then I am going to go back. So at that time, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching like that. Because I am associating with these people, I am not feeling the ecstasy of Kirtan. So just before that incident, there's one more incident which took place. So what happened was that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing Kirtan, and he went into ecstasy, and then he became unconscious. So at that time, Advaita Acharya took the opportunity to bathe the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his tears and take the dust from his feet and smear the dust on every part of his body. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came up from his ecstasy, he began dancing again, but he said that I am not feeling the same ecstasy. Did anyone in my room touch my feet? Mahaprabhu asked that did anyone in my room touch my feet? The devotees were afraid to tell that tell to Advaita Acharya that Advaita Acharya, they were afraid to tell to Mahaprabhu that Advaita Acharya is the person who touched the feet. So Advaita Acharya came forward and said that at that time he told that when a thief wants to steal someone, if that person is awake and vigilant, the thief waits for his victim to be asleep. Then when the victim becomes asleep, then the thief will plunder him. So Advaita Acharya said that you gave love of God, you are giving love of God to everyone by giving a chance to serve you. You give love of God to everyone, but you are not giving myself a chance to serve you. Even the gardeners, even the street sweepers, even ignorant people, you are giving all of them love of God by allowing them to serve you. But you are not giving me an opportunity to serve. So rather than giving us a chance to honor and respect you, you are always glorifying me. Therefore, I am so unfortunate. Therefore, today I have stolen from you. I have stolen your dust from you today. When Mahaprabhu heard that, he went and took the feet of Advaita Acharya and put right on his head. Advaita Acharya wanted to escape, but he could not escape. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu held his feet for a long time. And then in this way, these are some sweet pastimes between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Acharya. And once Advaita Acharya, he felt that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is all the time respecting me, and he's not accepting me as a servant. So Advaita Acharya felt very bad. So one day, Advaita Acharya, he started teaching impersonalism to his students. He started preaching Yoga Vishishta philosophy. So at that time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know that Advaita Acharya would explain every single verse of Yoga Vishishta, and then he was preaching impersonalism. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so angry, and he became so angry that he started actually beating Advaita Acharya. He started beating Advaita Acharya. That how can Advaita Acharya preach the impersonalistic or Mayavad philosophy? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not believe what he was hearing from Advaita Acharya. He told Advaita Acharya, "What are you speaking? I have a question for you." So Advaita Acharya, he was so empowered in his enthusiasm. He said, "What is your question?" Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Of the two, devotional service or speculative knowledge, which is superior?" Advaita Acharya, roaring like a lion, he said that speculative knowledge is always superior, devotional service is always subordinate. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became so mad and he became so angry in front of all the students and in front of Advaita Acharya's own wife and son. He dragged Advaita Acharya from the stage and then he pushed him to the ground and started beating him. So Haridas Thakur was shocked. And Sita Thakurani was crying out. He said that he's an old man. Please don't actually beat him like that. Please spare his life. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not hear a single word. He kept on beating Advaita Acharya. So then finally he sat down and said, Advaita, what have you done? I was sleeping peacefully in the ocean of milk and you brought me down to this world exclusively to fulfill the mission of spreading pure devotional service. And now that I have come on your call, now you are undermining the very mission. I have come on your call and you are now preaching this impersonalism. So Advaita Acharya, when he heard that, he was so blissful. He said that, where is your touching my feet now? Where is your offering prayers with folded hands now? Where has it all gone? I am not like your Bhrigu Muni who had his footprints over your chest. I am your servant Advaita and today you have punished me and accepted me as your servant. Then Advaita Acharya started chanting and dancing ecstatically. So Mahaprabhu at first he felt embarrassed. When he understood that Advaita Acharya simply acted like that just to get the punishment from him, he felt embarrassed. And then later he glorified Advaita Acharya. He told that anyone who wants to approach the Supreme Lord must do so by serving his devotees. Advaita Prabhu, you are so dear to me that if you give your mercy to anyone, I will deliver that person. If anybody offends you, then I have no power to deliver them. Then he told the story of how Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj, because Durvasa Muni offended Ambarish Maharaj, that even Lord Vishnu could not actually deliver Durvasa Muni. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised both of his arms and very loudly called out, if someone is chanting my names but is offending a Vaishnava, my very name will destroy them. So then he cried out, do not criticize others and chant the holy names of Krishna, and I promise I will deliver you. So that was the Lord's message to the whole world for all time to come. So then this is a very beautiful pastime where Advaita Acharya was very eager to be accepted as a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Another beautiful pastime, one day Advaita Acharya invited, when Advaita Acharya was in Jagannath Puri along with the Sita Thakurani, he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch prasadam. So usually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would bring many sannyasis and senior devotees along with him. So there was a crowd of many devotees and they would come along with him to each house to take prasadam. And all of them wanted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's remnants. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not eat so much in the company of all these sannyasis. So Advaita Acharya was praying that if the Lord comes along with all these sannyasis, then he would not eat so much. And we will not be able to serve him so nicely. And we won't get many remnants. Because he would be with all these Swamis and God brothers. If only Mahaprabhu can come alone, then it would be good. Like that Advaita Acharya was praying. So when Advaita Acharya and his wife were cooking, actually everyone wanted to come. But on this occasion, just at the time when everyone was supposed to leave the respective houses to come to Advaita Acharya's house, there was a torrential rainstorm. Practically the whole city came to a standstill. Nobody could possibly go out. But from Gambhira, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying, where Mahaprabhu was staying, from that place to Advaita Acharya's house, it was completely a dry path. The rain was coming all around, But from Gambhira to Advaita Acharya's place, on that path there was completely dry. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came alone and nobody else could possibly come through that storm. So Advaita Acharya was very happy and his wife was very happy. And they just served him more and more. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so happy that he was just eating large quantities of prasadam. So every time half a bowl was empty, Advaita Acharya would fill it again and again. And Mahaprabhu was eating and eating a lot of prasadam. So Advaita Acharya, then finally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed his hands. And Advaita Acharya started to offer a wonderful prayer to Indra. And he offered a prayer and glorified Indra. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, why are you offering prayers in glorification of Indra? And then he said, I know why. Because you prayed to Indra for these storms so that nobody could come for lunch with me today. Advaita Acharya said that I prayed to Indra, I am glorifying Indra. Because of him sending these rains, I could serve you so nicely and get so many of your remnants. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that it is not Indra, but it is you. You have ordered me to come down to this world. As Lord Shiva, when you give order, the entire world is destroyed. When you call the Supreme Lord from the spiritual world has to descend to incarnate in this world. It is because you ordered Indra that he has sent these rains. In this way, Mahaprabhu was glorifying Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya said that if anyone worships me without understanding that you are my Lord, then I will abandon them. So in those in those times in Bengal, this is a very significant statement because after Advaita Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world during their time, 3 of Advaita Acharya's sons were great devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So 3 of them, but 3 of the sons worshipped Advaita Acharya as a Supreme Lord, but did not recognize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Advaita Acharya's master. And because of that, those 3 sons were rejected by Advaita Acharya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to teach that no one could come to him without serving his servants. And Advaita Acharya wanted to teach them that no one could come to him without serving his master. That was the nature of their love. And yeah, lastly, one more pastime. So once, so every year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would send Jagadananda Pandit to Navadvip to pacify Sachi Devi. And by Paramananda Puri's inspiration, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would send so many gifts. So, and the Lord would tell Jagadananda Pandit, when you see my mother, give her the message that I know how much she loves me. I know how much she cooks for me. And she cries, feeling how Nimai would be so happy to eat this. Tell her that every day, she may not see it with her eyes, but I come and eat every day that she prepares. Tell her that she has supported me, nourished me from my birth, and I owe her my entire life. And so one day, this is of course it's not connected to Advaita Acharya's pastime. But one day in Jagannath Puri, Advaita Acharya wrote down a very mysterious message. Like Advaita Acharya was actually in Bengal. When Jagadananda Pandit came to Navadvip, Jagannath Pandit was sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Navadvip. And Jagadananda Pandit spent 1 month in Navadvip, and he told beautiful stories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sachi Mata and all other devotees, and also to Advaita Acharya. And when Jagadananda Pandit was about to return to Jagannath Puri, Advaita Acharya wrote down a very mysterious message and then told Jagadananda Pandit, give this message to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the message that what he had written was that I offer my obeisances hundreds of times to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and please tell Lord Chaitanya that he has made the whole world mad like him. And there is no longer any demand for rice in the marketplace. Tell Lord Chaitanya that all of us have become mad with ecstatic love and we have no more any interest in the material world. And tell the Lord that this madman who is in the ecstasy of tasting love of God, namely Advaita Acharya, is sending him this message. There is no more any demand for the rice in the market. So Jagadananda Pandit came and gave this message to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled quietly and then he said that, oh, it is his order. This is his order. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sarudamodar Goswami, can you explain what this means? Sarudamodar Goswami, actually he knew, but then he said that I cannot comprehend it. Can you tell me what it means? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Advaita Acharya is a very great exalted personality and his worship of the Lord is unprecedented. He called the Lord to receive his worship. And when his worship to the deity is complete, he sends the deity to another place. Then Sarudamodar Goswami said, actually, I cannot understand this message. Advaita Acharya is very mystical and very mysterious. And then from that day, Mahaprabhu's ecstasies of separation intensified doubly. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in essence, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying is that actually Advaita Acharya is sent me the message that if you want that, you may wind up your pastimes and go back to the spiritual world. I called you to this world in order to make everyone mad with the ecstatic love of God. And you have made all of us mad with the ecstatic love of God. So there is no longer a demand for rice in the marketplace and your mission has been fulfilled. Now you can return back to Godhead. It was Advaita Acharya's order that brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this world. And it was Advaita Acharya's order that sent Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out of this world. So that is the power of Advaita Acharya's love. So when you read in the Bhagavatam 11th canto, chapter 6, all the demigods, they come to Dwaraka and they offer prayers to Krishna. And the same demigods, in the beginning of 10th canto, they went along with Brahma and they prayed, they performed a Sankirtan praying for the appearance of the Lord. The same demigods, they came to Dwaraka and they said that now if you want, you have come to this world in order to remove the burden of the earth, and you appeared in this world and you removed the burden of the earth and your mission has been accomplished. Now, if you desire, you may return to the spiritual world. Like that, the demigods headed by Brahma, they offered this prayer. So similarly here, Advaita Acharya was the one who prayed for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to descend, and then he only by his order, he also sent Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the spiritual world. This is a beautiful passage of Advaita Acharya. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity to speak something about Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Wonderful, wonderful class. Today is the appearance day of Advaita Acharya Prabhu. And you described the immense love in between, Mahaprabhu and Acharya Prabhu. I mean, this is a lesson to learn for all of us, how we can, how devotees can be, times teach us many things. The other thing was also that how important the chanting was to prevent falling victim to and other than duties or spiritual duties to the masters, which is very essential. It was such a beautiful pastimes which you described about Advaita Acharya and the immense love between Mahaprabhu and him. It's really, really so wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Do you have time for questions?
Yes, maybe one or two questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, devotees, you can unmute yourself and raise your hand for the questions.
Sukhakara
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Yeah, go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna. Pranam, Prabhu, Pranam.
Hello.
So, happy appearance you made. You made us appear. We could see Advaita Acharya through you today. So many new pastimes you are told. I could see it coming up. So, Prabhu, Advaita Acharya is an incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, no? Both together.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
this means, what is the difference? Sadashiva and the Shiva in this Kailash Loka, there's difference, no? One Shiva, which we are seeing in Kailash, and other one in that is the spiritual world and this is the material world. So, can you just explain that slight difference because in Shiva?
There is a Vishnu Tattva Sadashiva in the spiritual world. And there is a Shiva who is like an Amsha of the Sadashiva, who is neither in the Jiva category nor in the Vishnu Tattva category, who is in between the like Kshiram Yata Dadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga, who is milk which is transformed into a yogurt. Is neither in Vishnu Tattva category nor in the Jiva Tattva category. So this is another aspect of Shiva, who is in this category. Shiva Tattva, we say. Sadashiva is there is one Sadashiva which is in the Vishnu Tattva category. And sometimes a living entity also occupies the position of Shiva, like that also. Sometimes it is explained in the Sandarbhas. So there is a Shiva in the Vishnu Tattva category. There is a Shiva who is in between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva. And sometimes a living entity also occupies a position of Shiva. Like that, different phases this information are given.
Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. One more thing now, when Advaita Acharya came, I think he was seeing the meaning of all the Bhagavad Gita verses, and in 699 verse you could find that there is connectivity with about bhakti and Krishna Prema or something. But in one verse, he did not find. What was the 11th verse? 11th chapter? I'm not able to understand.
13th chapter. Sarvata Pani Padam Tat Sarvatokshi Shiro Mukam Sarvata Shrutimal Loke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. So Advaita Acharya would read every verse of Bhagavad Gita and he would connect it with the pure devotional service. But this particular verse, everywhere are the hands and legs of the Supreme Lord, like that. The description comes in 13th chapter. Sarvata Pani Padam Tat Sarvatokshi Shiro Mukam. So he could not understand how it is related to pure devotional service. So in the Mahaprakash Leela, so because he could not understand, Advaita Acharya was simply fasting and fasting till he could understand that.
I think 3 days he did not eat, and then Mahaprabhu came
something
and
like that. So Mahaprabhu told Advaita Acharya in the Mahaprakash Leela, do you remember that day when you were fasting because you were not able to understand this verse, how it is related to pure devotional service? So at that time, I appeared in your heart and revealed the meaning of this verse, how it is related to pure devotional service. Do you remember that? It was me who actually revealed that meaning, and then because I wanted to make you come out of that fasting.
Then he will also show the Vishwarupa Darshana to Advaita Acharya. He will show that particular type.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ajiti Mataji. Dhanyavad. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that question. Thank you for that answer, Prabhuji. Let me see if anybody has any other questions. I see in the chat box, Jyoti Mataji is asking, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhuji, how to pray to Advaita Acharya ji to bless, to chant and serve holy name with more pure faith.
Yeah, we can pray to Advaita Acharya. We can pray to Advaita Acharya for a genuine taste for chanting the holy names of Krishna. And we can pray to Advaita Acharya that we can become a genuine servant of the devotees and imbibe the spirit of Vaishnava Seva. And we can also pray that, that we can become an instrument of compassion, the hands of Srila Prabhupada and his representatives. We can pray for these things. Name Ruchi, Jive Daya, Vaishnava Seva.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that beautiful answer. Yeah, so wonderful when you said, when Mahaprabhu was in the ocean, lying in the ocean of milk, and Advaita Acharya will order him to come. So with his order, when he comes to the world, with his order, he goes back. I mean, such a beautiful pastime, Prabhu. Devotees, if anybody else has any question, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any realization or any questions? You can unmute yourself. I don't see it. And so, with your permission, we will conclude our class today.
Okay.
And thank you so much for enlightening us today for the beautiful pastimes of Advaita Acharya Prabhuji. And we look forward to your association again, Prabhu, in future. And thank you so much for the wonderful class. So let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji. Vansha kalpatarubhas.
Atitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Jai. Jai. Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Radhe Radhe.
Jai. Thank you.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
We'll meet again tomorrow.